Hello and welcome. You're watching Race Power. My name is Mohammed Saleh. Now, the drama surrounding the American government spending bill simply doesn't seem to be dying down anytime soon. The Friday that is today happens to be the deadline when the current spending plan lapses. Now, the Trump-backed temporary spending bill was rejected by the Republican-led House on Thursday. The Thursday capped a remarkable 2 days in the nation's capital that put the new president's authority to the test. Trump and his advisors Elon Musk had threatened fellow Republicans to discard an earlier bipartisan bill. Now, the president-elect had demanded that the Republican leaders include a clause that would raise or waive off the federal debt ceiling before he takes office. However, the bill failed by a vote of 235 to 174. The 38 Republicans have voted against the will of the president-elect and the world's wealthiest man, Elon Musk. Now, nearly every Democrat voted against it. And after the vote, the House Speaker Mike Johnson said, and I quote him here, "We will regroup and we will come up with another solution." Now, Elon Musk has blamed the Democrats for the failure of a super fair and a simple bill. The House Democrat leader, Hakeem Jeffries, has called the proposal as simply laughable. He further added that extreme MAGA Republicans are driving the United States to a government shutdown. The press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre of the White House compared it to a giveaway for the billionaires. The legislators' opposition to the bill that extends important protections to the American people perplexed the House Appropriations Committee Chairman Tom Cole. Now, on the other hand, a Republican legislator also raised concerns about the plan's expansion of the debt ceiling and criticized it. The Representative Chip Roy, a hardline conservative Republican from Texas, said, and I quote here, "To congratulate yourself because it's shorter in pages but increases the debt by $5 trillion is asinine." He further added that that is precisely what the Republicans are doing. So this, of course, is the big developing story from the United States of America, where the authority of the president-elect has been called into question. The current funding plan, of course, expires tonight, and it now remains to be seen. Can the United States avert a government shutdown, or are we headed for another government shutdown in the United States of America? What is interesting is that Donald Trump wants the debt ceiling to be eliminated, and Donald Trump and his members of the party, including the likes of Elon Musk, had presented a new spending bill, which of course has been shot down in the American legislature. So a number of questions have been raised. If Donald Trump cannot pull his own party members to back a legislation that he's pushing forth, how will he be able to run this government? That of course is the big question. Now remember, Elon Musk has said that the new spending bill that the Republican Party had come up with was much shorter, but the Democrats are saying just because the bill is shorter in the number of pages does not necessarily make the bill better, and to expect that a shorter bill is the better one is just simply asinine. Another important change that Donald Trump wants to bring about is he wants to eliminate the government debt ceiling at the moment in the United States of America. The current funding plan, remember, of course, expires by tonight midnight, and the Trump-backed GOP funding plan has now failed. So this is an important and a big political challenge which Donald Trump's administration will, of course, face. All right, now to help make sense of what is happening at the moment in Washington, D.C., we are joined live on the broadcast by Ms. Reena Shah, who is a former presidential campaign chief spokesperson and also a senior advisor and founder at Relax Strategies. She's joining us live on this broadcast. Ms. Shah, this, of course, is a huge loss of face, one would say, for the president-elect Donald Trump, who's failed in getting his spending bill through. And what makes it even more embarrassing is that a number of Republicans seem to have opposed the spending bill that was tabled by his party.
Well, I believe this moment is actually even more embarrassing for the current Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who has enjoyed something of a cozy relationship with President-elect Trump in these past few months. I wouldn't say they have mutual admiration, but certainly there's been respect over many weeks. But what we saw transpire, particularly in the past 48 hours, is pressure from President-elect Trump and from, again, Elon Musk, very famously saying that they needed a new deal other than the one that was negotiated for many weeks between Democrats and Republicans in the House. So at the 11th hour, Speaker Mike Johnson didn't really have the pulse of his Republican caucus. He took it to the House floor and it failed there. It did not get voted up. And now it is looking like Republicans are scrambling to figure out how to really make a deal with Democrats, get something passed to avert this government shutdown, which happens at 12:01 tonight.
Right, interesting. And also one of the ideas that is being looked at is to get rid of the government debt ceiling in the United States of America. You know, it's a bit of a technical aspect of how the government debt ceiling works, but give us a sense as to why Donald Trump is pushing for this.
So with Trump aside for a moment, let me put it this way. He's behaving in a manner that we've never seen a president-elect behave in the modern era. So though he's known to put pressure on anyone and everyone in order to try to get his way, what really torpedoed the bill that was on the House floor last night was fellow Republicans, those who have long been critics and very vocal about their feeling that Washington engages in reckless spending. Most notably, Congressman Chip Roy of Texas, a Republican, said that he was ashamed of the party, felt that the party was not being fiscally conservative in putting forth a deal that raises the debt ceiling. And that is where, again, the Republicans saw infighting, fractures with their own. And that is what torpedoed this deal. Not Trump, not the fact that Democrats didn't meet Republicans at the table. They weren't even invited. But the fact that fellow conservatives took great concern and were critical about raising the debt ceiling, something that continually happens here in Washington, D.C., and has been part and parcel of how Republicans govern over the past 2 years in particular.
Right. Now, my final question to you, Ms. Shah, is this. Now, Donald Trump has said that he wants to cut down on government spending. He's come up with a whole new department called the Department of Governmental Efficiency. So if he wants to cut down on government spending, why does he want to do away with a cap on the amount of debt the American government can incur?
There's a whole lot to understand there. The fact that the Department of Government Efficiency, which would be helmed by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, two entrepreneurs, businessmen who have never served in government. Those are the people that Donald Trump has tapped to lead that department. But that department isn't currently existing within U.S. government. Trump's aim to put forth such a novel department is essentially to start to trim the fat of what he and many fellow Republicans believe are the excesses of federal government. That's really what it boils down to. They want to show Democrats that they are capable of not just disassembling Washington as it currently operates, but reinventing Washington to serve the common small man that sits outside its borders, outside the Beltway, if you will. Does it all line up logically? No, it doesn't. But the most important thing to note is that it is just an idea right now. We don't fully know what DOGE, again, this Department of Government Efficiency, would exactly do. All we know is that Donald Trump is putting forth the idea of standing it up as a way to really stick it to the Democrats and rework Washington, reimagine it in a way that's very different than how it's been functioning for many years.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Ms. Shah, for joining us and giving us a very comprehensive lowdown of what is happening at this moment at the Capitol. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.